It is the 17th annual Tomas Garces tournament, and it's also a very special day because today is also Tomas Garces' birthday in heaven. So it is definitely a special day. When we were thinking of a date for this tournament, and it fell on this day, December 17th, 2021, it was a kind of a coincidence. And it was meant to be that we have this presentation and we have this ceremony and we begin the 17th annual Tomas Garces tournament on this day. So you'll be learning a little bit, boys and girls, a little bit about Tomas Garces, because he was a wrestler just like you all. And he was sitting in those seats at one time as well. So you'll be learning a little bit about him through this ceremony. At this time, I would like to welcome Coach Becerra to the podium. He is the head coach of Weslaco Panthers.
Hey, good morning, good morning. I'm gonna go ahead and address all the wrestlers here before anybody else, before your coaches and all that. I know that we've competed against some of you boys and girls, real tough. You guys are real strong kids. I know we do a sport that a lot of kids don't join, right? Because it's tough to do. You guys had to weight cut. You guys have to take those losses sometimes, on your own, right? You can't look at your teammate and go like, oh man, you dropped the ball. I didn't. It's you, right? Hey, I busted weight, or hey, he just got me with a move with 3 seconds left. And I'm telling you those things because sometimes that is like the biggest thing that we worry about. Like for today, when you're gonna wrestle on these mats right now, in a couple of minutes, right? That's what you're really worried about. But at the end of it all, you gotta understand why we're here. The Tomas Garces Invitational. It's not a boy, by the way, it's a man, all right, that lost his life so we could do what we're doing right now. So you guys can enjoy the freedoms of getting to compete, right? So again, when you guys are out there on that mat and you guys think like, man, I took that loss, always refocus yourself and say, hey, there's something greater, okay? Really take that to heart. Again, this is one of those tournaments that I really enjoy, just hosting and seeing you boys and girls come here and participating, because you have somebody, again, that did the same thing as you did, that cut weight, that understood the struggle of winning and losing, all right? This gentleman went to state 2 times. Some of you guys and girls, that's your goal, right? Going to state. I want to be there at that state championship, all right? Being at that grand stage. So always kind of keep that in mind. Again, it is an honor having the parents here. There's not much more I can say about Tomas Garces that hasn't been said before. I know that we have a wonderful presentation for you guys and girls. Please be respectful, please be mindful. And again, just wrestle as hard as you can, because I know that that's what he died for. He died for us to be able to do what we're doing and what we love, okay? Enjoy today, and I hope we have some good, tough wrestling.
Will everyone please rise for the colors? Introducing Weslaco High School junior Iris Acevedo.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet
Thank you very much, Iris. Up next, if we get someone to turn off the lights, we're going to run a short video. And we have a short video to show you. We'll go ahead and let some of the members of Weslaco football team arrive and some other student athletes. But we have a short video. This was a video that was produced back in 2009. And this is just a clip from the longer version to learn a little bit more about Tomas Garces. So we'll get the lights turned off, we'll get the other student athletes seated, and then we'll start the video. Thank you very much, Iris. How about another big hand for Iris Acevedo? She is one of our state qualifiers in choir. She does a fantastic job. We do have, I believe, 18 teams here from across the Rio Grande Valley. See, Rio Grande City is here. We have teams from Cameron County and San Benito and everything in between. So welcome to Weslaco High School for the 17th annual tournament. So we're gonna go ahead and cut the lights and we'll run this video here so you can take a look a little bit more about Tomas Garces. Let's see. Everything went to sleep. Hold on a second. Okay, here we go.
Tomas was a two-time district champion, three-time regional qualifier, and went to state twice. His wrestling record was an incredible 95 wins, 17 losses. He was part of a team that won 3 district titles and started a streak of 8 district championships. During his senior year, Tomas also decided to join the National Guard. He would use the money to pay for college. With his parents' permission, he signed up at 17 years of age.
From what we knew, it was just going to be pretty much here. And that, like you said, it wasn't, the war wasn't fully blown like the way it is right now. So we never thought that he was going to head over there, but then he got his duties to report to El Paso.
By December of 2003, just 7 months out of high school, Tomas and the 1836 Transportation Company out of Weslaco were headed to Iraq. They would have to transport equipment throughout the combat zone. In July of that year, Tomas became a hero on the battlefields of Iraq when his convoy was ambushed.
The guy that was actually in the 50 cal, he was in a truck. The guy that was in the 50 cal, his machine gun locked. So he had his gun that he loved, the saw, and he just got out of the truck and started pretty much doing cover fire for the guy, and not even taking into consideration that he might get shot or something, just to protect the guy, to make sure that he could get the gun unjammed. They could just see the bullets flying by, but he said that I guess adrenaline, stuff like that, just kicked in, and saw his buddy, his brother, in a bad situation, so got out of the truck. Even though they weren't supposed to jump out like that, he just got out of the truck and covered for him pretty much.
Tomas was awarded one of the highest honors given out by the military, the Bronze Star. Although Tomas never thought joining the National Guard would take him to war, He was proud to be serving his country.
When he came down for his R&R, he would kind of go about the different things that they would do over there, and he was like, man, I'm doing this for our country, for you guys. And I was like, hey, thanks. That's the only thing that I told him. Hey, thanks. Just be very careful, but thanks.
On September 6th, Tomas was in the lead vehicle of a convoy, manning a .50 caliber machine gun.
There was a divide between the highway or something like that, and one of the insurgents saw them passing by and just detonated the IED, and the last thing that he said was, "I'm hit."
Tomas died from the blast at only 19 years of age. He became the first member of the Texas Army National Guard to lose his life in combat since World War II.
It still feels like it happened yesterday. Still hoping, no, it's never gonna happen, but hoping that he just walks in through the front door. But I mean, kind of have to just be strong and continue with our lives. Just not forgetting him.
And Tomas is not forgotten. Just a few days after his death, a special ceremony was held for him before a Panthers football game. His younger brother ran out onto the field carrying the American flag. The National Guard Armory here in Weslaco was rededicated in memory of Sergeant Tomas Garces in a ceremony in 2005. The building still has a picture of Garces in the gym, and a memorial stands in his honor. And every first Saturday in January, Weslaco High School honors his memory with the Tomas Garces Wrestling Tournament. Tomas is remembered by his family, his friends, and his community. He may have been a great coach, we will never know. This we do. He was an American hero.
We'll get the lights back on. So there is a little recap on Tomas's life, and we'll be talking more about him as we continue on with this program. Up next, I would like to introduce the interim superintendent of Weslaco, Dr. Chris Valdez.
Welcome to Weslaco ISD. I am the proud interim superintendent, Dr. Chris Valdez. I will try to get through this brief speech because I did have the honor of knowing Tommy. I was an assistant coach, cross-country coach here at Weslaco High School. When I met Tommy, Tommy was a freshman athlete, and I'll never forget his wit. I'll never forget the ganas that he had. I'll never forget the grit and his perseverance. I remember running the Panther Loop, if any Panthers in here in the house know. Even back in those days, we ran the Panther Loop, and Tommy, of course, would pass me. I'd join the girls running, and he'd pass me, and he'd just make fun of me and tease me, and would say, hey, one day I'm gonna be a coach like you, and so it was nice knowing It was an honor knowing him. I saw him grow up here. I saw him go on to be the best, one of the best that Weslaco High has ever had in wrestling. If there's anything, I know that Tommy is here with us, and he's like, yeah, that's one of my coaches. He'd want you to know that you may not be the most talented on the mat, but if you have the most grit, and if you know what grit is, right? Grit, like if you don't have to be the most talented, but if you have the most grit, you will outperform anyone in anything that you do. He dedicated so much of his life, and we were blessed to be with him for 19 years, that he walked around with such confidence, because that's that Panther pride. In Weslaco, we play to win, and Tommy played to win. And anytime he was on this mat, and any other mat, anywhere in the state of Texas, he played to win. And I know that, and y'all watching that video, it's very hard for me to watch, because it takes me back when I knew him as a 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old kid, right? But quickly he used that perseverance, that Panther pride, and that grit to serve for you and me. And so when you're here and anywhere on a mat, you think of him, you honor him, and you honor all those who have come before you. He's a fallen hero in Weslaco, and we have several fallen heroes in Weslaco, and we're so proud of him. And look at the legacy that he left. I mean, look, here I am standing in Sepulveda gym talking about Tommy, the little 14-year-old rambunctious adolescent that I met. And I never would have thought that I'd be standing here today talking about our Tommy. But you know what? I'm one proud interim superintendent, and I'm one proud coach, and I'm one proud former Panther athlete who will always remember him, and I thank him for all that he has done, all that he did for Weslaco High and the city of Weslaco, our state and our country. So on behalf of Tommy and his family, good luck, work hard, and play to win like Tommy did. Thank you.
We do have a couple of presentations to make. Before we move further along in the program, I would like to introduce the principal of Weslaco High School. Please, how about a big hand for Miss Yvette Morales?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Weslaco High School. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to the Garces family for allowing us to do this every year. You're in our thoughts, you're in our prayers. The beautiful thing is that you have grandchildren. You have still Mr. Garces, who works with us in the district. So yes, here we are almost 20 years later, and we're still talking about Tomas here at Weslaco High School. But let's give the family a round of applause to show them our support. So again, just want to echo what Dr. Valdez said, students. Every morning here at Weslaco High School, we do the pledge, just like all of you all do throughout your different high schools. And even in the hallways, we all stop, we freeze. And even if you're running tardy, that's okay. We all stop and we say the pledge together. And students might be in the middle of going somewhere and they'll stop. Even at the drop-off area, if mom and dad just dropped them off, they'll stop right there at the sidewalk, and we do the pledge together. And we do that in honor and recognition of the Garces family, and for Tomas, the price that he paid. So every time you do the pledge, I want you to think about the family and all the others. But specifically today, we honor and recognize Tomas Garces. Good luck to all the teams, and thank you to all our Weslaco High School coaches. I think Coach Becerra is here, and our athletic coordinator, Coach Stroman and Coach Serna, and our athletic director, Mr. Rodriguez. Thank you for coordinating this. Good luck to everybody. God bless you.
Thank you. Up next, I would like to bring up here State Representative Armando Martinez with a special presentation.
Thank you, and good morning. What a privilege and an honor to stand here before all of you as we pay tribute to a real American hero, someone that was from our community and that continues to display that honor so that each and every one of us can remember the freedoms that we enjoy are because of our veterans. And it's not only today, but every day that we should be thankful for our veterans, because we are gathered here today because of them and their sacrifices and their family sacrifices that they pay. On behalf of the state of Texas and the Texas House of Representatives, that's your state representative for District 39, we have put together a resolution in honor of Tomas Garces. Whereas the legacy of a proud son of the Rio Grande Valley who gave his life while serving his nation is being honored with a 17th annual Tomas Garces wrestling tournament at the Weslaco High School on December 17th, 2021. And whereas the son of Rafael and Sonia Garces, Tomas Garces grew up with 3 siblings, Ruben, Rafael, and Maricruz. He attended Weslaco High School where he was a champion wrestler and competed at the state level. After graduating in 2003, he joined the Texas Army National Guard and rose to the rank of sergeant, planning to use the National Guard's tuition benefits to attend college and become a wrestling coach. And whereas a member of the 1836 Transportation Company out of Fort Bliss, Sergeant Garces was called to active duty as part of Operation Iraqi Freedom. And for his bravery in covering a fellow soldier under fire, he earned the Bronze Star in the Oak Leaf Cluster and the V. He was killed at the age of 19 on September 6, 2004, when his with an improvised explosive device in Baghdad. He was the first member of the Texas National Guard to die in combat since World War II, and he received the Texas Lone Star Medal of Valor from the Office of the Governor. His other medals included the Army Commendation Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, and the Purple Heart. And whereas in the years since his death, Sergeant Garces' alma mater, Weslaco High School, has paid tribute to his sacrifice with an annual wrestling tournament in his name, and this year's tournament is being held on what would be his 37th birthday. And as part of this event, his family is being presented with replicas of his military decorations, which will then be placed on permanent display at Weslaco High School in the original medals, which are displayed at the National Guard Armory in Weslaco. That National Guard Armory is also named in his honor. And whereas the Tomas Garces wrestling tournament at Weslaco High represents a fitting remembrance of a local hero who gave the last full measure of devotion to his country, and it is privileged to join in honoring him and his family. And now therefore be it resolved that the 17th annual Tomas Garces wrestling tournament at Weslaco High School be commemorated, and that tribute be paid to the service and sacrifice of Tomas Garces. Signed by your state representative of District 39, Armando Mando Martinez. And it is this time that I would like to present an actual replica to the family and to Weslaco High for his honor, for his sacrifice and devotion, not only to our community, but to the United States of America. On behalf of your state representative of District 39, the governor of Texas, and the state of Texas, we honor you with this.
And the medal that he is that is given to the family right now is a Texas Medal of Valor. And there's only a handful of those that have been given out to members of the Texas National Guard. In fact, if you take a look at the history, that medal was given, the very first person that it was given to for the Texas National Guard was Tomas Garces, and that is a replica that we will be keeping here at Weslaco High School for everyone to see. Up next, we have a special presentation that we would like to present to the family. Before we move forward, let me just talk a little bit about this display box. This is a display that we are going to keep here at Weslaco High School for Ms. Morales, for the students to see every single time that they come into this gym. And we're gonna hang this display right over the American flag so that every time that the national anthem plays at an event here, whether it be wrestling or whether it be a basketball game or some other event, people always remember Tomas Garces and his sacrifices that he made for this country and the way he represented Weslaco ISD, Weslaco High School out in the community. So we present this to the family of Tomas Garces, and we present this to Weslaco High School. You have a picture of Tomas Garces in his wrestling uniform, a picture in his Texas National Guard uniform, the American flag folded as it is presented to the family after burial, and then all the medals that he was awarded when he was in combat in Iraq for the United States, including the Bronze Star, which is not given to just anybody. It was given to him for his heroic actions in Iraq. This is presented to the family. Thank you. Coach Becerra, closing remarks, because this concludes our ceremony. Would you like to just say a few things to everybody as we get started? Because now we are going to begin the wrestling tournament, so we're going to let him get things started.
Just what we talked about, okay? Let's wrestle hard. You got something to wrestle for, all right? Let's have a great tournament, injury-free. Let's get this going.
See, 1, 2. Hold on a second, guys. Everyone take your seat. Take your seat. We do want to have a couple of words by Mr. Rafael Garces, who is the brother of Tomas Garces. He has a few words. You're right there.
I'm a little nervous. Good morning. First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone here in attendance to the annual Tomas Garces Dual Invitational. I would like to thank all the schools, all the wrestlers that will be giving it their all to represent not only themselves, their schools, but this sport that my brother had hoped to one day be able to coach. All of y'all here who will be competing today can attest that this sport is not only very grueling, but it requires a lot of discipline to do what you do best. This invitational means a lot to our family, but most important, it makes Tomas's legacy be kept alive. I know that many of you, wrestling isn't the only sport that you compete in, that you dedicate your time, your sweat, your tears, and all the challenges of being an athlete entails. But know that giving it your all, no matter the outcome, you're already winners. We always tell everyone that asks us about Tomas that we would rather see him coaching wrestlers from the bleachers, supporting him, supporting the team, than not having him physically with us. God had other plans for him, for us, and to anyone that knew him in a personal level. But by memorializing what he represented, not only to the sport, to his country, his state, and the great city of Weslaco, his legacy will never be forgotten. On behalf of my dad, Rafael, my mom, Sonia, my sister, Maricruz, my younger brother, Tomas, my little brother, even though he's taller than me, my wife and kids, we would like to thank Weslaco High School Principal, Mrs. Morales, for your continued support, Coach Stroman for spearheading this, Mr. Rodriguez, our athletic director, and our interim superintendent, Dr. Valdez, for supporting everyone involved in making this special. to Carlos Robredo and the KWES staff, thank you for always making these amazing presentations like you always do. To Coach Becerra and Coach Cruz for always pushing all the wrestlers, especially Tomas, my little brother, when he was here. Our oldest, Ralph. And right now, Tommy and Electra. To always trust themselves, give it their all, and no matter the results, always telling them that one match does not define who they are in the sport. To everyone here in attendance that could join us today, thank you. To all the wrestlers here today, always give it your all, not only in this sport, but everything you do in life. Know that everyone here, and I believe everyone that's watching today's event, are very proud of you, no matter the outcome. We pray for a good meet, but most important, we pray that nobody gets hurt. Again, thank you for making today possible. This one's for you, Tommy.
Thank you very much, Rafael. And that concludes today's ceremony. Good luck, wrestlers. Happy birthday, Tommy, in heaven.